I've seen a lot of people say that because of that, Islam deserves some maybe pound for pound #1 rankings.
He's already the pound for pound #1 ranking.
But is he yours?
Yeah. I'll give it to him.
Fair enough. Arman,
are you happy? Is everybody happy now?
Yeah, I got it.
For Islam, this is the second time he's done this in his reign. He accepted Volkanovski 10 days notice, now Moicano 1 day's notice. What does this say about this champion who has a quote about this exact same thing up in the UFC Performance Institute?
Well, that he's the best in the world, and I would go back to our fighter meeting with Umar Nurmagomedov yesterday, and he said if you are the champion at 135 pounds or 155 pounds, you need to be able to beat any man who can make that weight on that Saturday night. And if you believe you are the best in the world, then you should be able to beat anyone. And Islam Makhachev is certainly that. I believe he's the best well-rounded fighter, most well-rounded fighter in the sport, the pound-for-pound king. Not at all surprised that he took the fight. Perhaps there would have been some pause because Pahumpa, Marcos D'Amata, the chief corner for Arman Tsarukyan, is also the chief corner man for Renato Moicano. So you know this camp knows you exceedingly well. You know, there's not as much upside in winning this fight for Islam as there would have been to really get some, style points in a second win over Arman. But Islam's the man, and that's why he took the fight.
I mean, the kind of pressure that's on a champion to come in and take a fight against an unheralded challenger, a guy who's not supposed to win, a guy who's very dangerous and has nothing, like you said, playing with house money.
Yeah.
And to perform that way and just immediately sync up a submission on a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt the moment it goes to the ground.
Welcome back to Quick Rundowns. The channel will be bringing the most dramatic updates, hottest takes, and electrifying stories in combat sports. Today, we dive into one of the most chaotic weeks in UFC lightweight history.
Impresses me so much about Islam Makhachev. There's multiple things. Number one, he took that fight. He didn't bat an eye. I had some fun with the John Jones fans. Over the weekend, saying, look, back in 2012, John Jones said no to Chael Sonnen, and that was 10 days out. Here he is as champion, taking a fight against Renato Moicano on essentially 36 hours notice. He deserves all the credit in the world, and of course, he gets paid if he takes this fight. So yeah, sure, great. He takes the fight, but this was an opportunity to get paid. It was an opportunity to fight. If he doesn't take the fight, he doesn't get paid. He doesn't fight. So that impresses me. Number two, the guy finishes fights. 8 of his last 9 fights have been finished. He doesn't just go out there and dominate. He has a different style, a more aggressive style, I think, than Khabib. He actually goes out there and finishes fights. He is so much fun to watch because the second he slapped that Darce choke on, it's like old school pro wrestling. He's like an anaconda. You just knew that the fight was going to be over. Back-to-back Darce choke wins. The previous fight against Dustin Poirier in June in Newark wins via the same move. Obviously, it took him a little longer to get there. And by the way, the only decision win of his last 9 fights was the Alexander Volkanovski Fight of the Year, unbelievable back and forth, war that we all remember and think of so fondly. So he's an incredible fighter. He steps up. He takes all comers. Very fun. He did what he had to do against the short notice replacement.
When we talk about champions, we're talking about more than just skills. We're talking about mindset, resilience, and the ability to dominate under any circumstances. Islam Makhachev just proved again why he's the pound-for-pound king. In a shocking twist, Arman Tsarukyan was forced to pull out of UFC 311 due to a back injury during his weight cut, and with just 36 hours to spare, Renato Moicano stepped in for the fight of a lifetime. You've got to respect Moicano for daring to dream big on such short notice, but stepping into the octagon with Makhachev is a different beast altogether. And guess what? Islam didn't just win. He finished the fight in jaw-dropping fashion, locking in a devastating DRC choke in the first round. That's 2 consecutive fights where Makhachev has ended it with the same brutal submission move.
I do feel like I agree with you guys. Arman Tsarukyan should be next, and I do think that the Arman Tsarukyan fight would have been a lot more competitive. Does he ultimately win? Who knows? But I thought that fight was going 5 rounds, and I thought Arman had a very good chance in that fight. So to me, there's no real debate to be had as far as what is next. God bless Renato Moicano for stepping up. He is so much fun. A tale of 2 nights for him. If he fights Dariush, I think he wins that fight via TKO in the first or second round. He steps up. He dares to dream. He dreams big. He takes this fight. No knock on him. Dusts himself off. He's right back in the mix, and in fact probably gets the rub as a result of this. But Islam versus Arman is the fight that has to happen. and hopefully we get to see it. We don't need to see it in the next few months. You guys mentioned Abu Dhabi. It could even be that far away. It could be maybe around International Fight Week. But that, to me, is the fight that I need to see next.
The man doesn't just win, he makes statements. Let's break down what the pros are saying about this absolute monster in the cage. Shakur Stevenson. Islam makes it look easy. The guy steps up, takes short notice fights, and still dominates. That's greatness. Henry Cejudo. Makhachev should move up to welterweight and become a double champ. He's outgrowing the lightweight division with how easily he's handling everyone. Bilal Muhammad. That DR's choke is just too tight. Once Islam gets you on the ground, it's over. Every fighter knows what's coming when they face Islam, and yet nobody can stop it.
If UFC offers me a fight like Dan Hooker or somebody on the top 5, of course I would take. But it is what it is. I don't have much choice on how that stuff works. But I'm pretty sure UFC knows what they're doing, especially fighting on the card on the same day, like a big card, huge card, on the same day as the Islam Makhachev and Arman Tsarukyan. My plan is go over there, dominate Darius, finish him, and get the mic and make my case for a title fight.
Oh, wow. You're going to go straight to title fight. Why not?
I don't know. Why not? Exactly. Why not? If you look into it, if you go to the to Topology, or if you look my record right now on the lightweight division, I have 6 fights. I am on a 6-fight win streak on the 155 with 5 finishes. Who else has these stats on the lightweight? Nobody.
Before this wild turn of events, the world was hyped for Makhachev versus Tsarukyan 2. Their first encounter was a gritty battle, and many believed Arman had evolved into the perfect challenger. But fate had other plans. Arman's injury left fans devastated, and he posted an emotional apology on Instagram. This was the hardest decision I've ever made in my fighting career. I was ready to shock the world, but my body gave out on me. I'll be back, stronger than ever. Islam, however, didn't miss a beat. In classic champion fashion, he took on a completely different opponent, adjusted his game plan, and delivered yet another flawless performance.
Long camp. I prefer for anyone. This camp we're training so hard. And someone was lucky because he's not here.
What makes Makhachev so terrifying isn't just his skill set, it's his attitude. After the fight, he sent a clear message to the division. Long camp, short camp, it doesn't matter, I'm always ready. Whoever's next, be prepared.
Foi uma grande luta. Ele é o campeão, tinha que fazer isso mesmo. Mas eu sou o próximo, ele sabe disso. O campeão dos pesos leves chama Charles Oliveira. Eu tô pronto pra isso.
Arman was at the press conference yesterday. All was good. Left the press conference. That was at around 7 p.m. local time. Was cutting weight. And had no issues all camp, healthy, no problem, was like 8 or so pounds over, was en route to making weight, and then injured his back while making weight, was in a lot of pain. UFC medical staff went to check him out. He was not in good shape, couldn't move, I'm told, was not in a good spot to fight. They agreed to obviously, wait it out, see what would happen. 6-7 a.m. local time, the plug was pulled. Couldn't move, got worse, was in worse shape. And late last night, a couple hours after they went to check him out, calls started to go to Moicano's team about stepping in on short notice, weighing in at 155. Worth noting that one of Moicano's head coaches, Pahumpa of ATT fame, is also a coach of Arman Tsarukyan, so he was obviously aware, not suggesting that that's a bad thing, but just that Moicano knew you got to make 155. You may be fighting for the belt.
Charles Oliveira, who declared himself next in line, better be taking notes. And what about Ilia Topuria? The undefeated phenom called out Islam, saying, "I can knock you out. I'll make it look easy." But can anyone really stop this train? Let's get real for a second. Is there anyone else in the UFC doing what Islam Makhachev is doing right now? 8 finishes in his last 9 fights. Unmatched dominance. Stepping in on short notice, not once, but twice as a champion. This is pound for pound greatness, and it's time everyone gives him his flowers.
Manny Moicano is coming for the belt. Be ready, Islam Makhachev. Tomorrow is money time. Man, I'm so happy that I got this opportunity. I have been working for this for a long time and I knew that could happen. That's why I was training 5 rounds, that I was training with a southpaw. I'm ready and tomorrow I'm going to shock the world. Be ready because I am. This is Manny Moicano and tomorrow I will be the champion of the world. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go.
So what's next for Makhachev? The options are endless. A rescheduled showdown with Arman Tsarukyan, a blockbuster rematch with Charles Oliveira, or, as Henry Cejudo suggested, a move to welterweight to chase that double champ status. Whoever steps into that octagon next, one thing's for sure, Islam is ready and the world will be watching. Islam Makhachev isn't just a fighter, he's a force of nature. Whether it's his ground game, his striking, or his sheer will to win, this man is rewriting the record books with every performance. What do you think? Can anyone stop Islam Makhachev? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's start the debate. If you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell icon to stay updated on all the latest fight news. This is Quick Rundowns, your go-to for all things combat sports. Until next time, fight fans, stay hyped.